Welcome to Quack&Co, the board game channel where every video is 10 minutes or less guaranteed.
Or double your money back.
Today, we are bringing you a Played It Once episode on what I think is my favorite game from Gen Con. We just did our official
Gen Con haul because we waited to do it till we played every single game, and a couple of them took a little longer than they should have.
I gotta say, I underwrote this one thinking it was like a little accessible party game, which in some ways it is. In other ways, this is a break-your-face, cutthroat, take-that, head-to-head, two-player, strategic card-playing game. I really
With
like
a Western theme on top that you like.
I really like this one. You want to go over, you taught me how to play this. You want to go over
I did teach you how to play this.
What this is?
You start with a hand of cards, and on your turn you're going to be drawing a card, and then you're going to be playing down a card. You have the option of playing your card face up or face down. If you play it face down, it is going to be worth 1 point at the end of the game, which points win you the game.
Good for you,
If you play it face up, it is going to have an ability. There are going to be ongoing abilities. There are going to be on-reveal abilities, and then there's going to be once per turn abilities. There's also going to, I don't know if you ever noticed this, the frequency of how frequent the card is throughout the deck. Anyways, when you play the card, you get to activate that ability, and then you get to activate, if it's on reveal, and then you get to activate the once per turn abilities once on your turn.
Now there's 2 ways to win this game. 3 ways to win this game. Either you have 10, then call a draw and have the most points at the end of the game after everyone's been able to react to you. You have 2 of the special cards face up on your tableau.
I was looking for the others.
Or your opponent calls a draw, you react really, really effectively, and you end up with more victory points, or you tie the person who thought they were going to stroll out into the middle of the street and say, "Hey, Burko, I'm new in town." That's not a country accent at all. It's just
It was
more
not a
like
Western.
it's like a jolly old fat man that's just showing up. He's good. I heard there's gold in these here hills.
Yeah.
Something like that. Those are fun. Those are interesting. But the thing that made this game so good...
There, found it. The temple was the take that element. The fact that you can mess with your opponent so much.
The abilities. The powers and abilities.
Yeah, you get to... Most of the cards will allow you to mess with your cards and your opponent's cards. And so you can flip your opponent's cards face up or face down. If you know they have a really powerful card that they have been using very well. Like Jesse had one that gave him a discount on all of his cards that made him discard. And that was insanely powerful. I kept trying to flip it down. He kept trying to flip it back over. That was the draw that we had.
It was one of those where it went back and forth a little bit. Then she left it alone for a turn or two because you didn't have a flip ability.
I did.
I used it, and then I just kind of, once she got rid of that card, I had cards in my hand that allowed me to dump everything else and turn them into victory points.
You had an insanely powerful card that I had not seen before that switched our hands.
Yeah.
And I had been saving up so many of my cool, powerful cards.
Nice.
But honestly, at the end of the game, you were surprised about how close it was.
It was very close. So, at a 2-player player count, I almost played this one again with you today, which would have meant we would have been breaking all the rules for the show.
Because it wouldn't have been played at once. So
there's a channel called what is it? It's Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, but he has a pizza review channel where he takes a bite of pizza, and he says that every episode of that, he says everyone knows the rules. 1 bite, here we go. Takes a bite of the crust, bite of the bread, bite of the meat, bite of the crust. And then in every episode, he doubles back in. He goes for 2 or 3 more bites. Everyone knows the rules. Everyone also knows rules are there to be broken. I almost played this again with you because I enjoyed it so much. We just didn't have quite time. We're going to be bringing it with us this week. The powers and abilities and the way that you push for victory, even in a 2-player game, is so satisfying. Yeah. I love the head-to-head.
I like the head-to-head. I like the fact that you have to react to what your opponent is doing. And I also like the fact that there are so many different paths to victory.
And at 4 players,
I was going for something completely different path than you were, and I almost had it. Like, if you had not called that draw, I probably could have beaten you.
At 4 players, this is also going to be complete chaos for the record. So that's another thing to keep in mind.
I also like that balance of the fact that every single card you play down, if you turn it over, you can have like a massive sweep of just points.
But if you turn over your opponents...
You're giving them points.
You're taking an ability, but you're giving them points. So every time someone plays a card, the game is actually progressing towards endgame. Yeah. So there's never going to be a stalemate. You're not getting rid of cards. You're either making them active or inactive. Yeah. So the game will always move up to a crescendo, which is very satisfying as well. Yeah. There's always going to be more on the table. There's always more threats. There's always more abilities. Very, very nice.
I like the cards that are not as high frequency because their abilities are so cool.
Yeah. But you do feel like you can counter them.
You didn't see this one until you stole it from my hand.
Yeah, flip all your cards except this one. Really, really
That
neat.
could have won you the game in like certain instances before you had achieved it.
Yeah.
You had so many cards flipped up.
So, with that being said, where do we think where are we concerned about this one? It's so light, it's so accessible. Clearly, the first play was great.
I'm wondering
if 10 plays going to be good?
So I'm wondering if the powers and abilities ever grow stale. Or I'm wondering if the crowd that you bring to the table, like, changes that.
I think you and I will be able to keep enjoying this.
I think, though, that after we go through the deck a couple times, like right now, the novelty of the powers and abilities that we were seeing made it really cool and refreshing.
But it might make it more strategic if we know what could be out there.
It might make it more strategic. I would almost want the option of, like, another pack of cards that you can mix in that have, like, separate powers and abilities.
Yeah. An expansion for this, even a modular expansion that changes what's in the deck every time you play, would be really, really welcome. I'd really enjoy that. Higher player counts. I think the chaos might be a lot of fun. It also might be a takeaway from the overall game experience. Yeah. This is going to get really chaotic when you get to 4 players. And West is going to love that. Yeah. That might not be as good for you.
It might not be my jam.
It'll be fun.
I'm curious to see, like, if we play it, it can play, like, really high, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah?
I believe so. I have to double check it's the players.
I mean, if it doesn't say a player count, it might be able to be played exceptionally high.
I think it was like up to 8 players.
Really?
If I was not mistaken.
I could see that though, and the higher you get in the player count, the more you're gonna. I'm worried that the higher you get, the more you're gonna feel like you didn't have control. Over what was happening. Yeah. That's my one big concern.
Yes, I'm curious if I will like it. I think I might like it at 3 and 4. I don't know if I'll like it at 7. So.
We probably are never gonna play it at 7.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, if you have that high of a player count, like, will you actually bring this out?
So, at $15-20, I gotta say, the first play experience alone was worth it. I would trade going to a bad movie for playing this game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one night of playing this game.
Yeah.
Or the first play experience versus going to a bad movie. This one's made its sale. Yeah. It's sticking around. Will it last forever? I don't know, but small box little party games, they don't need to, really. Yeah. You play them for as long as you love them, then you gift them to someone else, and they play them for as long as they love them. Yeah. But right now, I love them.
Are we giving it a rating?
Oh, yeah, rating out of 10. Oh, okay, so this is where it gets hard, because the last game I got a 7.8.
I gave it an 8.2.
This is a little bit difficult, because even though I head over heels love this. Yeah. I think my gut is saying 7.1.
Really?
The reason being...
Your gut's sour.
The reason being is because while this one is really good, this might be a always 7, right? Yeah. The other one, like, I have the potential of seeing it grow. It was a complex Euro, heavier, heftier... Like, 7 might be the best that a little indie, like a little small box game could get. And a 7, so 7.1 is where I'm going to be.
7.1?
Yeah. You should build a chart to keep track of all our ratings.
Wow. That's intense.
She's good at that stuff.
I was thinking that, like a 7.5. I'm not too far off from you. I was debating an 8, but, like, there's only so high a light game will get in my category. But, like, I put this in the category of, like, Cockroach Poker, of games that I love to pull out.
I think Cockroach Poker would be like a 9 for me.
Really?
Yeah, like a 9-2.
Really? So light game... So then you've just broken your rule. A light game can go higher than 7. No,
because Cockroach Poker is beyond everything. Beyond everything. That's, Wow. Cockroach Poker is friendship. Wow. Friendship can go higher than a 7. But this is a 7.1. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, first impressions matter, so we decided to talk about ours.
Less time watching means more time playing.
Played it once. We've got 7 taglines here at the end of the video. We'll see you later.
Bye.